Well, hello, Bob Dendry here, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, where we are building the Reno, Thousand Oaks and Roseville Railway. This video is brought to you by Patreon, so if you'd like to learn a little more about that, you can have a look at the link in the description. So we're really starting to head towards the pointy end of this series. It's 2011, we've got probably maybe 15 to 20 years left in game to play before we, finalise everything and close out this game. So, what are we going to do this week? Well, there's a couple of things I'd like to do, and I think we're going to focus more on freight this episode, though we may duck back and do a little bit of passenger stuff here and there. First of all, I want to focus on a few quick wins that will give us quick profit. One of the options we've got here is over here at our Fontana iron ore mine. As you can see, we're running 2 full-length trains on this, and we're still, got too much goods or too much iron ore to actually do anything with. So, a couple of things we can do here. I think this is only a 240 meter long platform, so we can increase it to 320. And we can also look to add an additional train on there if we're still not catering for the amount of goods that are wanting to be shipped through here. So let's jump in first of all and just have a look through and see what we're looking at. If we're looking at our cargo terminus station, it does look like it's 240 meters, doesn't it? Yeah, it is. So we can potentially get another few segments in here. I think that will still be okay. I don't think we'll have too much issue doing that. And we'll get our existing trains increased up to 320 meters long, and probably we'll just get a third train in there straight away pretty much. I don't really see any reason why we wouldn't do that at this point. Alright, so first things first, we have our platform length increased. Second of all, let's go to our line and have a look at our trains running on it. We could also potentially swap these over to a different train, to a Dash 8 potentially. Let's have a look and see. Do we have GP9 still running? I think we've still got a few, so we can potentially switch over these SDs to run on those lines and get some Dash 8s on this one, because I think you'd find that this is a pretty high priority line to have some, real grunty pulling power on it. In fact, we've still got one of these HHs running. That is a bit crazy, isn't it? Okay, that's okay. I think we should be able to get that sorted. So what we might do then, let's get this iron ore train. We'll run a Dash 8 on it. We could get some new gondolas on it as well, which will allow it to run a bit faster. Should we do that? We probably should. I don't know if we can afford it just yet, though. So we might just leave it at the moment with modifying it with the new Dash 8. And in fact, we can increase the length using these new gondolas. Perfect. And we'll get train 37 here, and we're going to change the line on this one. Next, we will shift up our SD onto this train here and sell off the old train there. Perfect. So that should be sorted out. We've got our first Dash 8 running on this iron ore line. Fantastic. Oh, we've got a bit of a traffic jam here, in fact, that I did not notice. Okay, so yeah, that's quite bad actually. That's a pretty bad traffic jam. So we might need to double track this whole section in that case, which should be okay. I'm alright with doing that. And then we just need to put a bit of a crossover in here. Okay, so that should run nice and smooth now. I'm glad we noticed that when we did, because these sort of traffic jams can completely wreck your game. They deprive you, especially when you're looking at here, we've got these 2 large iron ore trains that are making us a lot of money. In fact, they've been jammed there for ages. That's really quite concerning that we've missed out on that. Might take the opportunity here to slightly restructure this junction because it's not really great from a conflict point of view. So what we might do is have these double tracking, maybe coming a little bit further this way, and then there's less of a conflict point between this junction here and that one. So I might quickly do that. We'll just wait till this guy passes through and then we'll go ahead and get that done. In fact, we don't even need to wait. We can sort of just do this a bit on the sly while we're... Don't know why we're going too much slope. That doesn't make much sense, does it? Okay. We can have this sort of break off a bit more like this. And then join up here if we're lucky. Oh, they didn't join up. I was wondering why that was acting a bit strange. And then we should be able to disconnect these tracks here. What's happened there? Why did you head in that direction? Bit weird. We might just send you back in that case. Okay, and that should be everything. Yeah, perfect. That's working well. We can probably switch you around and you can use this crossover here. Maybe? No, apparently you can't. I reckon you can. We delete this signal. Yeah, perfect. Alright, lovely. So that should repair that sort of conflict point we were facing there. That's pretty close. Wow, that's an interesting signal distance, isn't it? Alright, time to do some more switching around of vehicles. So we are going to modify the other train on the Rancho Iron line. Get another -8 on the trail there. Fill her up with gondolas. And then once again, we've got this spare SD40. So what we're going to do with this one, we're going to put it on our other crude oil line. And we are going to switch out one of our GP9s, and instead we'll replace the last of those HH little shunters that we're running on one of our tool lines. So let's do that modification. We'll assign you to our Santa Clara tools. Do that modification. In fact, as I'm doing that, I'm watching another one of those shunters going past. So we've still got a couple more. But I think, overall, I think we're looking pretty good here. One thing I've also noticed while I've been doing some of this cleanup work is, look at this, our main passenger lines. Ooh. We are bursting at the seams here at Santa Clara, which is actually our largest city now. It's larger than Thousand Oaks, so maybe we backed the wrong horse here. But we need to deal with this. This is massive. So we're going to need another train running on this line, it seems. So what we might do, let's see if we've got enough money to clone our new diesel passenger train that we put in place. This one here. Can we clone you? Let's have a look. No, not enough money. Okay. So, you're quite expensive. Obviously, probably towards 100 million, I would guess. That's all right. We might just leave it a few more moments. We should have some more cash coming in fairly soon. And from there, we can get a new train running. Another thing I've noticed, if we look at our new Roseville to Naperville bricks train, we've got 400 waiting there. So clearly we underestimated the amount of bricks that would be needed there. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll get that lengthened up as well towards 320. And that obviously is going to cost us a little bit of money, but that should overall be a pretty profitable line now, you would think. One question I do need to ask is Naperville station long enough? It looks like it is not. Actually, no, it might be. We might have actually built this to 320 meter long standard. Yeah, actually it is. So perfect. We will cover that absolutely fine. Our freight terminal is it's surviving. We probably could do with a large building. Which would hopefully allow some more bricks to be stored here as well. But yeah, I think it's looking pretty well. Alright, so we did manage to get a new diesel train running. We're going to quickly switch that line over to run on the main passenger line. And that should be, fingers crossed, a nice boost to our passenger capacity on that line. Alright, let's start putting together a new train for our iron ore line here and see how much it's actually going to cost us. I suspect it's going to be very expensive. Probably will be worth it though to make that upgrade and get that additional train running, I would say. So we're going to go for a -8 and we're going to just load it up with gondolas. So if we go up to the full 320, we're looking at around about $60,000. Actually, not too bad. That's a massive capacity though. So we might actually be better off just upgrading our existing trains to use those gondolas and get rid of the old ones they're running, because they could probably cover the output of that mine just by getting rid of the old gondolas, I think. So let's give that a go then. So if we sell off the existing gondolas, what's our capacity going to look like? So we're looking at a difference of 130 in capacity. So pretty decent difference actually. So we might try just doing this first, and then once we've done that, if we do still need an additional train, we can definitely get that in play. And there we go. Cool. So we should be all sorted now with some wonderful new gondolas like these ones, and hopefully hopefully we've now got the capacity to handle all of this. It looks like we probably do. We might need to change these lines to full load if they're not already set up like that. And no, they're not. So we will get those on to full load for a maximum of 3 minutes. I think that's fair enough. Alright, and we've got our new long iron ore train arriving to unload, and let's see how much it can bring in for us, because we're quite a bit in the negative right now. 15 million, that is very, very nice. I'm very happy with that. Look at that, massive. So yeah, good decision there to upgrade that one. We will also have a second train coming in as well. It should be full. I've actually turned this guy back around so he can go back to Fontana South in full load. So he will pretty much be full up as soon as he gets there. And yeah, then we can just go from there. Other thing we need to change here, which is probably slightly impacting, not massively, but I think it will be impacting the network a little bit, is we've got some old stone bridges here. And these have a very low top speed. So I'm thinking we're just going to take the opportunity to replace those as well. Got a bridge pillar collision apparently. So 120, actually it's not terrible. But if we could get them replaced, then probably better. I'm sure the speed limit is lower than that on the old ones, isn't it? Yeah, it's 90 k's an hour. So we'll get those replaced. And we will replace this one as well. We could probably switch these over to high-speed rail, to be honest. Which I'm actually thinking I might do. So I'll finish building this. That is a little bit close there, so we might actually go this one, which doesn't look the most realistic, but oh well. We're going to unpause, and yeah, we're going to actually upgrade those as well. As it turns out, it's actually mostly upgraded anyway. There's actually only a few sections that aren't already high-speed track. So, yeah, it's probably a bit of a lose for us not doing that. I've noticed over here that our Roseville distro line is struggling a little bit. It's got only 4 vehicles on it and a whole lot of cargo waiting. So what we might do, we might actually get some new vehicles on here and replace these old ones, I think. I might get 6 of these new tarpaulin trucks that have lower emission and higher capacity than we've currently got. So we'll get those assigned to our line. And we can get the old ones sold off as well. Looking at Roseville Freight Station as well, we've also got Hollywood Brick Line, which is looking very not great as well. So let's have a look and see what we can do with this one. So it's currently 240 meters long. Can we increase the length of Hollywood Station or Hollywood Freight Station? I reckon we can. It's actually looking very short. Is that even 240? Yeah, it probably is, I guess. So what we might do then, we will lengthen it by a couple more tiles, which will take it up to 320. And that will then allow us to service that. Beautiful, that's all fixed up. So now we can do some management here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to sell off all of these old side state cars. We're going to get a new Dash 8 to run it. And we're going to separate the old SD40 into a new train, which we can reuse to get rid of one of our GPs. So we'll get this up to a full 320 meter long. That's a 300 capacity, so pretty nice. And that will hopefully fix us up. Alright, so this is actually the last of those shunters that I'm now replacing. Happy days. Alright. Also speaking about the Roseville brick or construction materials plant, look at this. We're actually running out of stone now, so we need to lengthen our stone trains or potentially get another one in. So let's have a look and see what options we've got. So if we have a look at our station here, I think this will be a 240 meter long, so we can lengthen it a bit. I think our trains are about the right length, aren't they? Yeah, so we'll need to do a bit of modification there. And we can replace these GP9s probably with SD40s from one of our other lines and get some Dash 8s running on the main line, I would say. You know, I was going to do something fancy replacing these trains with like SD40s and switching things around, but we may as well just refresh these trains completely. At least this one to start with, which is an GP9 running with some very old gondolas. So we might get rid of these and get a Dash 8 with some brand new gondolas on there instead. We might keep it with 240 metre long at the moment because it's going to be quite high capacity compared to what it was before. And there we go. So that should be a much higher capacity train that will allow us to hopefully stop running out of stone. Wait, hang on. Where are you? What? What are you doing over here? I'm so confused. Why? How did you even get that far? That is not where you should have been going. I'm just really confused. I don't know how he ended up over there. So that's probably part of the reason why we were running out of stone, is because this guy has just been sitting there for a year or more. That's very odd. I don't know how we even ended up in that situation, to be honest. It's possible maybe we've got like a loop now. So the platform he didn't want wasn't there, so he's just trying to loop all the way around and come back. Maybe? But are these trains sharing platforms with any other services? They're not, so I don't know what the reason would be that train would have gone out there. It's a very, very bizarre. Anyway, on that quite bizarre note, we might finish for today. So we're going to fit in one more episode before we move on, and I've been thinking a lot about how we're going to continue with Transport Fever 2 on this channel. And I think you'll be very excited when you see what I have planned, but we're not going to go through that yet. Let's get through next week's episode, and then we'll talk about what the next series is going to be like. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you get a ding to your device the next time I post a video. You can find links to all my social media in the description, so please jump on there, like, follow, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff. But until next time, I'm Bob Dendry. This has been Transport Fever 2. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.